Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'd like to show you how to make Harvest Grains honey whole wheat bread. Like this. You'll love it. I'll be using 18 ounces water. That's 16 ounces from this pitcher and 2 ounces from the smaller one. 1.5 teaspoons salt. I use a teaspoon. It's 1 1/4. And I just make a little rounded. One-quarter teaspoon yeast. I sprinkle it so it doesn't fall in all in one lump. One-half cup Harvest Grains blend. I try to design my own, but when you try to put in 8 different seeds and so forth, that's very expensive. It's just simply a lot easier and less expensive to buy a blend. One tablespoon olive oil. One tablespoon honey. Three and a half cups flour. Now I like to blend. You can use all wheat flour, but sometimes the loaf comes out more dense. So I blend the two. I'm going to do 2 cups of bread flour, 1.5 cups whole wheat. You can do just the opposite. It doesn't make that big a difference. And that's 2 cups. I use the scoop and shake method. You don't have to weigh it. Precision doesn't make that big a difference in bread. This is a 1/2 cup. So to get my 1.5 cups, what I will do is I will use 3 of these. I'll stir to combine. And yes, I do use the handle end of a spoon. It actually mixes better than if you use the large end. What you're really trying to do is introduce the flour to the water. Doesn't take a lot of effort. By the way, this is why I use a glass bowl. A glass bowl stays in place easier. If this were a plastic bowl, I'd have to hold on tight to it. And see, there's pretty much come together. So what's my last step? Scrape it off the side so make sure you get everything in. Now I'm going to tumble it a little bit, it helps blend some. And there we go. This is just being a little fastidious. You don't need to do this. Now I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap. And now it's ready to proof. No-knead dough should be proofed 8 to 24 hours. I generally proof overnight on the kitchen counter. The dough is proofed overnight. It's time to make the bread. As you can see, little trouble getting it off. The dough has risen and more than doubled in size. Before we start, I want to show you some of the pieces we're going to use. This is called a proofing skillet. I'm going to spray it with no stick spray. What is going on is I'm going to do the dough I'm going to put the dough in the proofing skillet. That's because I'm going to preheat this cast iron skillet. Now this is going to be hot. There's nothing better than having your dough in a proofing skillet and just putting it in. That's what we're doing with it. So I'll start. This is called degas, pull and stretch. I'm just working the dough a little bit, bringing it into a smaller dough ball. I'm going to scrape the sides. Now I'm going to garnish this loaf, and this is how you do it. Right now, the loaf is very sticky on the outside. No better time. I use a tablespoon because I can sprinkle the seeds. Then I'll tumble the loaf a little bit. I want to get some seeds on the other side also. So I'm putting some along the edge here. And I'm not worried about too many because what doesn't stick is just fine. I'll roll it in the seeds. It's pretty much covered now on all sides. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dust it with flour. If you ever looked at an artisan loaf of bread and it looks like it's been brushed with something white on the outside, that's what you do with flour. So I'll sprinkle it on the dough. And that'll give it a very nice effect. Now it goes into the proofing skillet. I'll shake a little bit. I'm going to cover this with a lint-free towel and I'll let it proof. Cover proofing skillet with a lint-free towel and proof for 30 to 60 minutes. Before dough has fully proofed, move oven rack to the lower third of the oven, place Dutch oven in oven, and preheat to 450 degrees. Both the oven and Dutch oven are preheated. It's time to bake the bread. The Dutch oven's been preheated. And this is how simple it is when you use a proofing skillet. And then I'm going to shake the center, the lid back on, and it's ready to go back in the oven. Bake at 450 degrees for 30 minutes with the top on and 5 to 15 minutes with the top off to finish the crust. The bread is ready. Let's take a look. And this is the results. Whoop-de-doop, out of the Dutch oven. Onto the rack. Because it's hot, I'll be using the mitts to hold it. Beautiful loaf. You'll love it. This recipe and others like it are in my No-Knead Bread cookbook. Cookbooks are available on my website, no-kneadbreadcentral.com and amazon.com. Thanks for watching.